another edition of Crazy Bob. I got to actually borrow from BMW here in Kaiserslautern a BMW i4 M50. So I'd like to take you on a quick tour. Didn't have it for long, only had it for 2 hours. Once again, I had to kind of make do with what I had, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight on the BMW i4 M50. Stay tuned. All right, so inside, quality, typical BMW. Steering wheel, nothing to write home about there. Not like in the XI, or not like in the iX. A stop sign steering wheel, it's round. Materials, pretty much typical BMW, although I feel like there's a couple of spots where they've gotten a little cheap. Take a look here. This reminds me of a Kia right here, this top portion. Then here they have the fake pleather. The buttons are nice, but this up to here, she's pretty, and the top part just ain't nothing to write home about. It's a hard kind of a vinyl covered plastic. Not exactly what I'd write home about. So the one thing I really do like is the fact that the climate functions are very easy to access via this one central spot that they picked. So regardless what menu I'm in, if I'm in a different menu and I'm looking around and I want to get back to the climate control, which is something that's used quite frequently, right? I just hit that, boom, I'm back in the climate menu. That's a plus. The layout of the dash, also a big plus. You can configure this infinitely. You can configure it to have only this. You can configure it to have digital. You can configure it to have a map. It goes on and on and on. There's a million ways you can look at things in the i4. So the only buttons left are what you see. And that's it. So why isn't there more buttons? Well, it's kind of strange. Most voice command situations work. The other reason is that they want you to use the touch screen. Everybody's following the Tesla game, basically. But what I find interesting is the buttons they do still have are the buttons that you really want to have. So, i.e., my windows start fogging up. I'm like, oh crap, I have a physical button to defrost the windshield and the windows. For my rear defroster, I have a physical button. I don't have to fumble in a menu. For my climate, I don't have a physical button, but I always have that button. Which takes me straight to my climate menu. So, from what I'm seeing, I really like it. I like it to the tune of possibly thinking about trading in the X4 M40i for this. Now, I will tell you that right now, you don't see it in the camera, but I'm kind of pale because the acceleration and deceleration, the back and forth as I was testing, is pretty hefty. And so I'm a little bit seasick right now. But nonetheless, yeah, power-wise and comfort-wise, this is definitely on par and more than the X40 can actually offer me. Hi, BMW. Sitzheizung an.
Ich aktiviere die Sitzheizung beim Fahren.
The seats are almost straight out of the BMW X3, X4. Same. So same manufacturer, same pattern as a matter of fact. No great news here. They're comfortable, they're good. Nothing to complain about. So the back seat isn't bad, but I will tell you, it's a little bit tight. So on a long journey, as a 6-foot person, it might get a little uncomfortable. I've got space up here, no problem. My knees are pretty close. And the biggest thing you'll notice is that my legs are not sitting on the seat. So I would have to kind of try to slumber, and even when I try to slumber, my legs are still up in the air. So on a long journey, I would maybe get a little worn out back here. So trunk space is not huge, but it's not small either. So plenty of space back here for the average day-to-day. And if you need some extra space, cables there. Unfortunately, the Harman Kardon takes up quite a bit of space there in this little pocket down here. Materials back here, typical BMW, good quality, good fit, good finish. And the seats do fold forward, so if you need to, you can pop those forward and you've got tons of space. Now, different than in the iX, you do not have a place here. There's a little hook for a bag, but there is no place to unlatch the front seats. So really quiet, even at speeds of 80, 90 miles an hour, which is 130 clicks. We'll see if traffic ahead will allow us to do a little of this. Holy shit! And that's 120 miles an hour, just like that. So what you gonna do with all that junk in your frunk? Well, in BMW's case, nothing, because there is no frunk. There is a spot for coolant. Yes, electric cars are water cooled, and there is a spot for AC port, and that is it, my friends. This right here contains a bunch of electronics underneath. And that's it. I hope you liked the review, so give me a thumbs up and subscribe.